everybody. It is March the 16th and it's bedtime story hour. And tonight I'm going to be showcasing some new books that we have in the library. And if you know me, and you probably do, I love The Gruffalo by Julia Donaldson so much. So this is a new book by Julia Donaldson called The Teeny Weeny Genie. Old MacDonald had a farm, and on that farm he had a farmhouse. And in that farmhouse he had a cupboard, and in that cupboard he had a teapot, and in that teapot lived a teeny weeny blue genie. See him there? Makes you want to go through your teapots. The genie liked it in the teapot, and old MacDonald didn't like tea, so life was nice and peaceful. That is, until the day when old MacDonald decided to clean out his cupboard. "I'll give this dusty old teapot a wash," he said. And when he started to rub it dry, the genie wafted out of the spout. "What is your wish?" asked the genie. "Could you manage a new tractor?" asked the farmer. "My old one's awfully rusty." The genie puffed himself up and said, "ABC, XYZ, gobbledygook and garlic bread." He rubbed his tummy and patted his head, and a bright red tractor appeared. "Thank you, let's go for a ride around the farm," said old MacDonald. So they did. It was a very loud tractor. Vroom, vroom, and the farm was very noisy too. Quack, quack, ba, ba, moo, moo. The genie blocked his ears. Doesn't like all that noise. "Oh, this farm is a lot of work," said the farmer. "I wish I had a wife to help me." The genie puffed himself up and said, "ABC and XYZ, cauliflower, cheese, and chocolate spread." He rubbed his tummy and patted his head, and a woman appeared. She was carrying a large suitcase. "Hello, husband," she said. "I'm Mrs. MacDonald." After a quick cuddle and a tractor ride, old MacDonald said, "What's in that suitcase?" "All my clothes," said Mrs. MacDonald. "I wish I had some wood and a saw and a drill and a hammer and nails. Then I could build a wardrobe to keep them in." The genie puffed himself up and said, "ABC and XYZ, gooseberry green and raspberry red." He patted his tummy and rubbed his head, and the wooden tools appeared. Mrs. MacDonald set to work. The saw and the drill and the hammer were very loud. Bang, bang, bang. The genie blocked his ears again. "There's some wood left over," said Mrs. MacDonald, and she made a cradle. And then they wished for a baby to put in it. The baby was very loud too. Wah, wah, wah. Mrs. MacDonald wished for a rattle, but that made the baby cry even louder. "I think he's wishing for a dog," said the genie. No sooner had the dog appeared than he wished for a bone. The bone was nice and quiet, but then the dog wished for a cat to chase. Woof, woof, meow. The cat ran away from the dog and climbed up a tree. "She's stuck," said old MacDonald, and he wished for some firefighters to come and rescue her. They appeared in a very loud fire engine. Nee-haw, nee-haw, nee-haw. One of the firemen climbed up a ladder to rescue the cat, while the others stood around wishing for things. They wished for a trumpet, an electric guitar, and a drum kit. "Let's have band practice," they said. It was a very loud band practice. Thump, 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 thump. The genie was getting a terrible headache. As soon as the cat was down from the tree, she wished for some mice. The mice wished for a ball and a very loud whistle. They all started to play football until the mouse, who was the ref, got fed up with that and wished to be Super Mouse instead. And then the cat wished to be Super Cat, and the dog wished to be Super Dog. The MacDonalds wished to be super farmers, and the fire wished to be super fighters, and the baby wished to be super baby, and they all flew around bumping into each other. Whiz, whiz, bang, crash. "I can't stand this a minute longer," said the genie. "I wish they'd all go away." But nothing happened, and then the genie remembered, "I'm not allowed to make wishes for myself, only for other people." Hoping that nobody was looking, he slunk back into the farmhouse. "Perhaps they'll leave me in peace if I get back into my old dear teapot," he said. He stroked the teapot fondly and then got the surprise of his life when out of the teapot wafted another genie. This one was green. "What are you doing in my teapot?" asked the blue genie. "Trying to get some peace and quiet," said the green genie. "Well, that's what I want," said the blue genie, "but I know I can't make my own wish come true." "But I can," said the green genie. "I can wish for you, and you can wish for me." Then he puffed himself up and said, "ABC, XYZ, broccoli broth, and breakfast in bed." He rubbed his tummy and patted his head, and the teapot grew a pair of wings. "Jump in, let's go," said the green genie. The teapot carried the two genies out of the farmhouse, away from the farm, over the hills, and through the clouds. Then it came gently down to rest on a beautiful beach. The only sound was the lapping of the waves on the shore. The two genies had a little paddle. And then the green genie wished for another teapot and some teacups, and the blue genie made that wish came true. And after their cup of tea, the two genies climbed into the first teapot and fell asleep. Please don't disturb them. If you ever find that teapot on the beach, or if you really feel you have to, just make one wish. Think very hard. What will that wish be? And that's the Teeny Weeny Genie. The Runaway Belly Button is our second selection tonight, also a new book at the library, written by John Flannery. This is for all of you who love to get dirty, and Grace loved to get dirty. But she was also pretty good at getting clean. She took proper care of hands. Thank you. She paid extra attention to feet. We smell great. And she even remembered to scrub behind ears. But there was one body part she tended to forget. Any guesses? Belly button. Day after day, Belly Button got dirtier and stinkier and filthier. Ugh. After one particularly neglectful bath, Belly Button had had enough. That's it. I'm out of here, she thought. And with that, she stood up and raced down Grace's leg through the house and out the back door. See, there she goes. Belly Button had never been outside without Grace. The world looked enormous. She hesitated, but just for a second, because Dad was washing the car. The glittering water and sudsy soap called to Belly Button. The water washed over her, and she breathed a sigh of relief. She's getting clean. Before long, Belly Button felt great. Not only that, she looked and smelled great. She proudly declared, "At long last, I'm sparkling clean." Belly Button was suddenly soaring through the air. Uh-oh. She was almost immediately dry, which she appreciated, but she hadn't planned to go so far from home. She's being abducted. On and on she flew until Belly Button could no longer see her house. Worse than that, she could no longer see Grace. She wiggled and wriggled until she shook herself free and fell down, 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 and landed with a bounce, ooh, a bump, oh, and a thud. Thankfully, it was a soft landing, and when she checked herself over, she discovered she was still clean. Oh, well, there's that, she thought. But when she attempted to get up, she realized she was stuck. She twisted and turned and pulled and poked, and finally she broke free. "Oh, bother," she said, looking at her backside. "I'm already dirty again." Belly Button brushed herself off. Nothing another bath won't fix. And another bath she got. Dirty water swept over Belly Button, carried her down a sewer grate where she landed with there she goes. Splash and a splat. Oh, Belly Button was hopelessly lost and miserable and dirtier than she'd ever been in her whole life. If only she'd never run away from Grace. Just then she heard her name, Belly Button, and above her a light shined through the grate. It was Grace. "I'm here," cried Belly Button. Grace was up so far and Belly Button was so far down. "You can do it," Belly Button thought, and with a cleansing breath, the only clean thing about her, she began to scale the sewer wall. And as she climbed, she got dirtier and stinkier and filthier. By the time she reached the top, she was quite a sight. "Oh, my," said Grace. "You are very dirty. Let's get you cleaned up." And from that day on, Grace took good care of hands, feet, and ears and paid extra loving attention to Belly Button. Thank you. But there was one other body part she tended to forget. What about me? You have to clean your butt, right? So that is the runaway belly button. That's our second story for tonight. Everybody's got one of these in their house. Not me. We used to call it Mr. Nobody when I was growing up. This is by Elise Gravel, a Canadian author. Kind of cute. This will finish up our story time for tonight, but if you come back on March the 29th in 2 weeks, I'm going to do a little spring and Easter story time. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual events or persons is entirely coincidental. Not me. Who left dirty socks all over the place? Not me. Was it you, Nick? No, Dad. It's not me. Okay, so no one left their dirty socks on the floor. Somebody is not telling the truth. And unless somebody does, both of you will get a timeout. What? But Dad, you don't understand. Come, we'll explain. It's him, it's not me. He's the one who leaves dirty socks everywhere. And there's not me. Huh? I didn't leave any dirty socks anywhere. It's not true. Tell the truth or you'll get a timeout. What? I just told you it was not true. Do I have to explain everything? Follow me. It's him. It's not true. It's me what? You're the one that's leaving socks all over the place. What? This is ridiculous. I would never do such a thing. Enough. It's always someone else's fault with you guys. Not true, not me, and the kids. You will all get a timeout. What? But it's not fair. And there's not fair. Putting all the socks all over the place. And that is not me. That's our last story for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the stories. And we'll see you back on March 29th. We're going to have a little spring and Easter story time. Good night.